Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, I just got done with All American Homecoming, episode 12, called Behind the Mask. Guys, this actually was a really good episode. I really enjoyed this episode. Of course, as you guys know, if you watched my All-American season 5, episode 12 review, which I did yesterday, you guys knew that I was not interested in this episode. I was not excited for this episode. As you guys know, I was really upset that the writers didn't write in where Simone got told by someone that about Billy's passing and didn't get to be there for Billy's funeral. I was really upset about that, and I kind of had my own way that they could have done it, where it could have gave Simone and Layla, like kind of gave them both it kind of would have gave them like something to mend the fences between them both and make them friends again, but also something that they can agree on to be there for Jordan. So I kind of came up with my own way that that should have been written, but actually to start off in this episode, it was mentioned, there was the first thing Simone ends up doing is actually trying to call Jordan, saying that I found out what happened to your father. I just wanted to let you know that I'm here if you need me. And pretty much, ends up, I guess, after that just ends up hanging up on the phone because Jordan doesn't respond, you know what I mean? Because, Jordan is going through a lot, as we all know. It looked like it could have been a missed call. We won't really know. Or it could have been you just let the phone ring. Maybe we'll get that information when episode 13 happens. But until then, we really don't know if that was he missed the call or he let it ring because he didn't really want to maybe talk to anybody right now. So we did get the clarity of that, or we did get the explanation of that she did end up finding out. I still find it weird that no one reached out to her. I feel like that would have been better, especially for not just her, not just because of who what she meant to Jordan, but also what she meant to everybody else. That I'm shocked no one reached out. On top of I really thought it would have been good if Layla reached out to mend defenses on something that they could agree on to be there for Jordan. I'm just still a little annoyed about it, but I'm glad that they acknowledge the fact that it wasn't just something that she just ignored, something that she just didn't know about. And actually, she did know about that, and she did reach out. So I was like, okay, there is some normalcy here, where she did find out, and and she did want to see if Jordan was okay. So I was really happy about that, at least, because I was like, it's weird that the whether it's the same writers of both shows or that Simone wouldn't know about that. I was like, that's really weird. I still wish she was at the funeral, but it is what it is. So in this episode, of course, it is the masquerade ball, the masquerade ball. That is today's episode. And there was a lot that happened in today's episode. There was so much. There were some things that were very unexpected. There was a lot of cute things that happened in this episode, and there's a lot of things where I'm like, okay, I'm glad that these characters, put all of their, their feelings out on the line, and there was just a lot of clarity for a lot of these characters to keep, to move forward, but also get great character development. So I was really happy about what was going down in this episode. It really makes me excited to see what goes on in the next episode. Even in the next episode, it looks like a lot of crazy things are going down in the next episode. A lot of some upsetting things, but also some things that will make the characters stronger, because that is I feel like that was the key message of what we're going to be seeing in next week's, I guess, on March 13th episode of episode 13. It feels like that's the core of the episode is being strong. So I am excited to see not just what's going to be going on in the next episode, but also where these characters are going to go, because I think we only have I think 2 more episodes left. I think it is episode 13 and then maybe one more, because today was episode 12 if I'm correct. I think today was episode 12, so I think we only have 2 more episodes left, or 3 more episodes left. So I am really impressed with the season overall. But to go into this episode, well, Simone tried to check up on Jordan. Jordan didn't answer. And, Simone has a lot going on because, she has to, pretty much, I guess, represent. I'm trying to see if I'm correct. Simone has to host for a PKZ alum. That's what her responsibility is in this episode, and kind of try that while she also has to go to dance practice for because Keisha is the one that's doing the choreography for the masquerade ball. So and she's a part of their big dance routine. So everybody has to go, whether it be Cam. I think there's a lot of was it KEK, people going into this dance routine on top of, I don't know if anybody, like, I think there was probably some PKZ members that were also in the dance choreography on top of, some students from Keisha's, dance class, I'm pretty sure. And the reason that Keisha is the one that's choreographing the ballroom dance for the dance that they're having is because Dr. Pace is still on her like pretty much on her leave of absence. Like we really kind of didn't know really why I think Dr. Pace was gone, but we kind of had an idea because Dr. Pace got put in her place by Amara for treating students not good at all. To the point where they weren't eating and sleeping, and pretty much it just was not good for their overall health, and it just wasn't the way teachers should be teaching. Regardless of Dr. Pace saying, "Oh, that like the way I teach my students, it gets results and sets them for where they're going to go in their future." When in reality, it wasn't right the way she was teaching people, and that's why she took her leave of absence. So I've been really happy with Keisha lately because she's been stepping up so much. This isn't the first time she's done the dance choreography for the dance class before, but the fact that she gets to showcase it for the school masquerade ball was really cool. I thought that was really cool, and the dance choreography was badass. For anybody out for the people that choreographed this sequence for the show, I thought it was really cool. And Cam never ceases to disappoint. Like Cam always has has the moves. Especially, same with the singing, he's a really talented dude. So I really do love that, he just always steals the show when it comes to like the singing and the dancing, and especially like the dancing in that sequence. I thought was really cool. And I said the same thing when it was the stepping, when he was first stepping in the line. I think it was in 2 episodes ago. I thought that was really cool. But pretty much that's what Keisha's doing in this episode. Like she has the responsibility to get everybody ready for the masquerade ball, and they have a couple of days I think to get it ready. But we get the dance in this episode. But she's she's just really wanting to make sure that everybody is on point, and she kind of takes it out on Cam a little bit because some things happened with Dr. Pace coming back that kind of sets her into the point of her being angry at Cam because in this moment where she's trying to get everybody ready for the masquerade ball, Dr. Pace ends up coming back and pretty much tells Keisha saying I'm gonna fail you for the class because you ended up taking pay. Students aren't allowed to get paid, and you ended up taking pay. So I'm gonna fail you for the class. I'm gonna fail you. I think she said for the term or the semester. I can't quite remember what she said, but that kind of just sets her off to the point where she needs Cam, but Cam is found a brotherhood at KEK. And she kind of gets upset that he isn't really there, even though he's always there for her. But she's upset at the fact that he isn't there for her all the time when but what I mean, or they're there for her all the time when he found a brotherhood and he wants to also be there for her, but also be there for his his brothers his newfound brothers that he's made at KEK. So I loved that storyline of what's going on with them and pretty much them having the conversation. At the end of the episode with how he ends up finding out what's going on with her, and they end up addressing that with Dr. Pace. Pretty much Keisha says I didn't take any of the money. My other fellow students donated the money to charity, so you can't fail me because I didn't take any money. I never touched it. So that kind of put the she kind of clapped back Keisha, saying you can't fail me because I never touched the money. I didn't do what you said, so you can't do this to me. So I was really happy about that, but I don't know what's going on with Dr. Pace. That must have really bothered her what Amara did, but I'm just hoping Dr. Pace can get over that and things will and she can start actually acting like a civil person and actually start acting like a teacher and a mentor. So I'm hoping that we can things will get fixed going forward, but I don't think that they probably will. I feel like she'll still probably give Keisha problems. But going back to, I want to go with Simone and her meeting the fellow PKZ alum. We end up actually finding out when she meets this PKZ alum that actually, when she meets the alum, things are kind of, off to a good start until she kind of, jump pretty much right away jumps in it with Simone about what's your 4-year plan here at Brixton to see if you are PKZ material. Do you even have any plans for the summer? And Simone's I'm just a freshman. And pretty much, the point of that storyline is the fact of Simone, needs to I guess have things planned out. Essentially, it's not bad to have things planned out or to know what's going on, but also at the same time, it's you're in college. I mean, you're a freshman. You don't really know what you're gonna do when you're a freshman. And yeah, it's probably like a good idea to have an idea of probably where you're gonna go. After you're done, to get to your, like, set some goals to see where you're going to go after you're done at college. But not everybody has a set plan. And I feel like that was really the point of this episode, is that, it's okay not to have like a set plan, but, it kind of, inspired, Simone to, like, want to have a set plan essentially. And, what's crazy is that when she's kind of, thinking to herself, like, I don't know, like with the question of, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm kind of just, focused on tennis and just getting through my work. We end up finding out that this alum, I think her name was Charlotte, actually is Lando's sister. And that was really crazy that this really, hyper-focused, Ned's Declassified, following the school survival guide pretty much of, how the, make it with the certain tips and plans to, get through college and to get where you want to go. Pretty much, I guess has a plan for Lando as well. And pretty much, ends up bringing, like, kind of in a way, like, taking point on the fact of, I'm your big sister. If you want to get into PKZ, you need to help me get Lando into the thing I want him to get into, because I'm the one I'm wasting those talents. And we actually end up finding out in this episode that Lando is actually talented in photography. So that was really cool to find out Lando is actually like he has another talent that isn't just baseball. He actually, like, does photography. So, like, I guess he doesn't want, like, he just wants it to, like, I guess his point of why he doesn't want his sister to like put his applications in, or submit his photos to be the photographer for the Masquerade Ball, is because he doesn't want his, something that he likes to do turn into something that he doesn't want to do anymore. Like, he doesn't want it, like, something that he loves to be something that he doesn't love anymore. And I feel like that was kind of resemblant on Keisha. Like, I was worried about that with Keisha. Like, Keisha was excited to do dance, but then Dr. Pace was kind of like, making her not excited about dance anymore, like making it a hard time for her. So I understood that, that you're always afraid when you do something that you love, that it's going to turn into something that it's going to feel like it's a chore and you don't love it anymore, or feel like you're going to fall out of love with it with something that you do love. So I understood where Lando was coming from, but I also understood the fact of why his sister Charlotte wanted to, like, didn't want him to, like, not take a chance on that talent, and didn't want him to waste that talent. I just thought it was kind of, in a way, kind of messed up that she was kind of forcing Simone to be like, look, I'm going to take point on this. I know that you and my brother, when you broke the rules about, you seeing a dude when, you weren't supposed to do that when you're in PKZ, you're not supposed to date. And you ended up doing that and sneaking around PKZ with, Lando, with my brother. But now I'm going to take point, and I know you care about him, and I need you to help me, submit these photos so that way he can, be the photographer, and it could show him that he can actually do something with this, and that's something he shouldn't be afraid of losing, his love about something. Is like, we need to motivate him so he can realize that he could actually do something with that, and he should do more with photography and shouldn't just drop it. So that was really cool, because in a way, like, her kind of being in a way forced to help Lando out, made Lando see that photography is actually something that, he he was actually, that was the push he needed to want to keep doing photography, and actually, like, not drop it, and actually do something with his talent. So, even though what his sister Charlotte did was wrong, bringing in Simone to kind of, give him the push that he would need to make him want to do that, it was what he needed to make him want to keep doing stuff with photography. So I was really happy that, Lando wasn't about to give up on the dream, and he was actually going to take a chance on it and actually do something with that, with the talent that he had, on top of still doing baseball, probably still wanting to, get into, the MLB. I love that he's actually going to do something with the talent that he has of photography. But that also, in the process of all this going down, Simone learned some things about herself, saying, like, I should want to, make a plan of what I'm going to be doing here. It doesn't hurt to have a plan, you know what I mean? So it's something that she learned, saying, like, oh, like, how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to be doing? You know what I mean? Like, and turned it into, like, maybe I should be productive, and actually it's not bad to have a set plan, even though, like, my mom had a set plan for me, and that's why I'm kind of against having set plans. and I kind of just want to rule day by day. It's cool that, you know, someone is actually not making a plan for her, but is asking her like, oh, like, what do you want your plan to be? Where do you want to go? I know you're more than just tennis, but like, what do you want to do? I know tennis is your main goal, but like, what goals do you have to get to, you know, to get certain things before you get to tennis? So I thought that was really cool that, you know, she kind of got inspired by Lando's sister Charlotte to make a plan, and it's not bad to have a plan. Especially, you know, it's different than someone having a set plan for you. It's different when someone actually helps you with that plan. So I really thought that was cool and a good message of all that going forward about, you know, Simone finding out like what plan should I have. It's not too early to, you know, start a plan about where I want to go and what I want to do in my life. So I thought that was really cool. But going on to, I want to talk about. I'm trying to think of some of the other thing that's going down. Let's talk about Damon for a minute. Damon in this episode, you know, he is one. While everybody's getting ready to go to like getting invitations are going out by a whole bunch of people at KEK. You know, he I guess already submitted him taking you know, Thea when they were dating to the ballroom dance. I guess this was something that they knew that they were gonna have earlier, and he, like, since they were dating, he's like, oh, I'm gonna submit me and Thea for this ballroom dance thing. I think it'd be really fun. Turns out, you know, that, like, you know, his invitation and the necklace that he got her still got sent out because I guess he forgot to tell you know, people at KEK that him and, you know, Thea aren't going to be going. Like, I need to be taking my invitation and my necklace out of the equation because like I was gonna go, but then we ended up breaking up. So Thea still ends up getting the necklace and the invitation by Damon, even though Damon forgot that he signed them both up for it. On top of, you know, Damon, you know, saying to himself like, I'm not going, but that already got sent out. So it kind of, you know, makes Thea have like a realization of like, okay, like, you know, I kind of figured like she was kind of hoping that, Damon, you know, is fighting for us to get back together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I should still go and try to offer this back to see if he's actually like, if he actually wanted to take me or not. But then Damon's like, oh, like, I'm sorry, Thea. Like, I forgot to, like, I signed this up for this, you know, when we were dating, but I forgot to, like, you know, take this stuff out before it went out. And she's like, oh, I kind of figured that. And he's like, no, but like, you keep the necklace because, you know, I think you would look amazing in it. Just I know you would, so just please, you know, keep the necklace. And it kind of still gives her the idea of like, okay, like, he still has feelings for me, and kind of puts in the perspective of while she's trying to thinking about, oh, like, do I want to make, like, did I make a mistake about me and Damon? She's also trying to think about, about the one dude that gave her the cortisone shots. Pretty much ends up talking to her because while, you know, she gets the necklace and she's kind of happy about, oh my god, like, you know, maybe I can win Damon back, or maybe, you know, we can make this work out. She ends up getting sent a picture by a girl that ends up becoming pro in tennis, but she was able to beat, you know, Thea was able to beat her when they were younger. And it kind of put in the perspective of like, oh, like, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, should I have went pro? Because, like, the one girl that I beat when I was younger is pro right now. Like, am I wasting time? Like, did I think that, like I couldn't have both in this right now? Like, did I make a mistake? Should I have tried to, like, keep my relationship with Damon, but also try to go, like, pro and stuff like that? And like, you know what I mean? Because the one girl that Thea was able to beat when they were younger is pro, but still has a life and is still balancing out her life very well. And Thea's thinking to myself, like, I should be able to do that. Like, I think I made a mistake. And I feel like, you know, Damon, like, still has feelings for me. Maybe, like, I should try to, you know, and maybe I should try to, like, you know, get him back, and I could still, because I feel like it's like, it felt like it took a minute for her to have that realization that she could have both. But I was really happy. I was like, okay, because I still am rooting, or was rooting for, you know, Thea and Damon to get back together, but I feel like it's just inevitable where the writers want Damon and Simone to get together at some point, whether it be at the end of the season or going into into season 3. So, you know, going on with what was going on there about her having the realization that I can have both, and I'm gonna go fight for Damon, and goes to Amara saying like, oh, like I'm scared to tell Damon like I made a mistake, and I want him back. And she's like, you should go do this because this is how you're feeling. You should go do it. And she ends up going to the dance. She ends up dressing up, going to the dance, wanting to tell Damon how she feels, on top of wanting to take a chance to go pro. And by the end of this episode, she actually comes up with the idea of like, what, I actually am going to do a match to see if I should if I win the match, and see if I should be going pro, like try to go pro. I was really worried that like when she said like, oh, maybe I'm wasting, I thought she was gonna say like, oh, like when she was talking, when she got the picture sent to her, and then she was talking to the one dude that gave her the cortisone shots, about like, oh, like maybe did I make a mistake about being here, like should I have tried like to go pro, because the other girl I beat when I was younger is pro now, and I was able to beat her, so like I can imagine on where I would be because I beat her, but am I wasting time here? And it made me think that to myself, like, oh, is she gonna like leave Brinkston? Because when she goes to Omar to talk about Damon, she also goes to Omar saying like, I think I'm gonna go pro. And I thought she was about to say like, not about stuff with Damon. I thought she was gonna say like, oh, I'm thinking about like leaving Brinkston to go pro. I thought that's what she was gonna say, but that's not what she was ending up. That's not what she was really saying. So I was really happy about that. It was about like, oh, like, I'm gonna, I'm thinking about going pro, but also like I want to win Damon back, because I think I can have both. Like try to go pro, but also be in a relationship with Damon. I think I could do both. So at the end of the episode, where she kind of says, oh, like to the one dude, I can't remember the one dude that gave her the cortisone shots, but she ends up saying like, I'm gonna do a match that's gonna see if I should, like, if I could go pro or not. I was happy for her, but I'm thinking to myself, since that the one dude that also like that gave her the shots also kind of said like, oh, like can we go have a dance, Thea? I'm thinking, well, will Thea date that dude? I'm not quite sure. Who knows? Because as what ends up happening in this is that when Thea ends up going to talk to Damon, Damon's like, pretty much says that you broke up, you made that decision for a reason about wanting to break up. And I have a lot going on in my mind, and you saying that it was a mistake and that you want me back. It's just like I'm not in the, like, I have a lot in my head right now. I have a lot going on. I can't do this. You did it for a reason. Let's just call it at that. I felt really bad for Thea, because I loved their relationship, and I was really hoping that they would get back together. But I kind of knew at some point, especially in this episode, like it's not going to go the way Thea is going to want it to go, because Damon is so set on. And that was really a struggle in this episode, is that the events of last week's episode of him saying like, that he was going to go tell Simone that he had feelings, but JR and Nate kind of stopped that from happening. It's one regret that he has, is like, like the dance that he was supposed to go to with his ex-girlfriend, he's not going with anymore. And yet, he's still questioning the fact of like, did I make a mistake on not telling Simone actually how I feel, and just sucking it up and just being friends with her? Is that enough for me? Do I want to be friends with her? And that's kind of what he fights with in this episode, is like, do I want to be friends with Simone, or do I actually want to tell her how I feel? And Kim's the one that really pushes him, saying like, you should do it. You should tell like Simone how you feel, like because you guys were never just we're never just friends. There was always something there. You should go tell her. You know what I mean? Like, is that good enough for you, that you're just friends? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it is. You know what I mean? And the one thing I know about you is that, and the most annoying thing I know about you is that you always speak your truth. And I think you should go tell her how you feel. And pretty much, that goes a lot back to going on JR and what JR is going through in this episode, because JR tries to convince, when he ends up, when the thing already got sent out to Thea, JR, ends up coming across Damon, and Damon says, I'm not going to the dance because I'm not going with Thea, because that was what we were supposed to do, but we're broken up and I just don't feel like going because I don't have a date and I just don't want to go. And of course, JR meddles again. And the dude just can't stop meddling, and it's really annoying that he keeps getting involved in stuff. I know, and my sister's like, "Oh, it's his brother. Like, of course, he wants to help his brother out." And I'm like, "No, like JR just keeps getting involved in people's business." So JR, of course, sends to Gabby, "Oh, go hook up Damon with 3 dates around the quad, and have him go on these 3 dates to see who he's gonna take to the dance." And he, of course, we had one that was obsessed with zodiac signs. We had one girl that had a mad obsession with social media and just was not paying attention to the conversation of Damon trying to get to know her. And then the other girl was a super sports obsessed fan that he just like, it was freaked out. So he realized like thanks Gabby for helping, but I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going. But like I said, Cam is the one that motivated Damon to go for it. And I love when Gabby finds out, you know what I mean? Like saying like, I see the way like Damon's looking at Simone, and if you would have told me that like Damon wanted to go tell Simone how he felt, but you got in the middle of it and you've kind of been meddling in places you shouldn't be meddling, you should stay out of his business. You know what I mean? It's like like because how do you not know, like because it has nothing to concern you, and how would you not know if they would have tried dating, that it would have failed. And I said this in my review. I was like, how does JR and how does Nate know that it will break up their friendship, them dating, when it could work? It's like, it's their fears that are making them stand in the middle of Simone and Damon being together. So I really do love that Gabby kind of put JR in his place, and you need to just stay out of, you should have just left your brother alone and stay out of the business that you have nothing to be concerned into, or like nothing to be involved into. Like it wasn't it did not need your involvement. It didn't concern you, and you should have just stayed out of his business and left him alone, because I see the way he's looking at Simone across the dance floor, and it's more than just, it feels like it's just more than just, heartbreak. It looks like, there's something up there, like, like he's longing for her, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, I could see that, it's hurting him, that your advice about just not telling, Simone how, like, he felt. And I really do love that. And of course, JR says sorry, saying, you know what I mean? It was my bad of giving you that advice, saying, don't tell Simone. You should go tell Simone how you feel. And of course, Damon tried telling Simone on the dance floor when he first found her. But of course, they were playing, like, they were kind of doing role play for, like, when it's a ballroom dance, you kind of, can't help yourself but doing, like, acting like you're royalty and all that stuff. So he said, to the point, I think he said, like, I don't remember really what he said, but he pretty much said, like, oh, I want to be more than just, like, friends, essentially, like, or, like, I can't imagine a world without you, or he said something like that. And essentially, like, she, like, kind of played it off as, like, a joke, like, oh, they were just role playing, and that kind of made Damon upset for a minute, like, oh, like, because he kind of chickened out in a way, or of actually talking as Damon, saying, like, oh, Simone, I want to be with you, I love you. But he actually ends up having the courage at the end of the episode to tell Simone, when the ballroom, when the dance is over, and Simone's there, saying, like, Simone, like, I'm here to talk to you as Damon Simone. I just want to let you know that I love you. I've always loved you, and I knew I loved you the moment I took your phone on the quad and all that stuff when we first met. And if you don't feel the same way about me, then I'll respect it. But pretty much the ball is in your court. And I was really proud of Damon. I was like, good, bro. Like, I'm glad that your brother JR came to his senses and shouldn't have got involved and shouldn't have tried to meddle in something that he was afraid that wouldn't work and would jeopardize the group. He needed to put your feelings first, and how it was making you feel about what he did, getting in the middle of something. So I was happy that JR kind of realized that through Gabby, like, I made a mistake. I shouldn't make it about me. I should back my brother and have him go actually tell Simone how he feels, because that's what he wants. So I was really happy that JR was, like, really like a brother in this episode. Like, at that moment when he realized what he did was wrong, and telling Damon to go for it. You and Simone, you knew from the moment you and Simone were never just friends. So go tell her how you feel. And he said he was afraid, but he says just go do it or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't, like, it's not going to break your friendship, you telling her this, because you guys were never just friends. So go do it. I just loved that. I thought it was really cool. But, like, back to Lando and Simone, though. With Lando and Simone, before, while, he, like, about, him picking up, photography again, because, about, Charlotte kind of, in a way, pulling her, I'm a PKZ, alum, so I'm your big sister in this moment, and I'm pretty much forcing you to help me choose out the right photos to turn in to see if he'll get the gig to be the photographer. Pretty much, I really felt bad for, Lando, because you can really tell Lando really likes Simone. And I know people ship Lando and Simone. My sister does. I don't ship Lando and Simone. I ship Damon and Simone. It sucks because, like I said, I kind of knew it was going to be, they were going to go down this route. I knew that they were eventually, like, Damon and Simone will get together. I knew it was going to happen, as much as I didn't want it to happen when Damon and Thea started dating, and I really wanted them to stay together. And I was okay with, Lando and Simone being together. But the fact of it is just it really upsets me, the fact that that the whole Simone and Damon thing is over with. It upsets me a little bit. But also at the same time, it's like I feel kind of, sad for Lando, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, like, how's Lando going to take this? Because Lando, found someone that he thought, was his kind of like his girlfriend. And I don't know. I feel like, it's really hard, especially because, like, Simone's going to have to choose who she wants to be with. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I really feel bad for Lando, but at the same time, I'm really happy for Damon, because I feel like that's what, like, we all knew it was leading to this moment where, like, we know she's going to pick Damon. Like, I feel like we all know that, because I feel like the writers wrote that in the first time they met, and I was afraid of that when Simone was dating Jordan at the time. I knew right away. I was like, okay, like, shit, this is going to be her new love interest, because she's going to be moving off of All American and going on All American Homecoming. This is going to be her new love interest, and they're going to start dating. And I caught the whole Layla and Jordan relationship sparking up. While, I just caught these relationships happening, and I knew right away it was going to be like, oh, well, Jordan is dating Simone, and they're trying to make the long distance thing work, but Jordan is slowly starting to fall in love with Layla. Layla's starting to fall in love with Jordan, and then we, of course, have, Damon being there, and Simone is starting to fall in love with Damon, and Damon's starting to fall in love with Simone. I knew all this shit was going to happen, and to have it, like, them do their detours where, like, Damon ends up finding Thea, and they end up falling in love, and then they started dating, but also Damon still had feelings for Simone, and Simone ended up finding Lando, and they're having something right now, and now Damon is broken up with Thea, and now he knows he fully wants to be with Simone. It's just a lot of drama. And I just feel bad for Lando. I mean, I'm happy that Damon and Simone are going to be together, but I feel sad for Lando and how that character is going to take it. But we'll just have to wait and see what's going to go on with that. But the one of the things I really did love is that while all this stuff is going on, to go on with Marcus and Amara, they actually had their first date in this episode after, like, a long, long time. Like, this is their first ever date. And it was really cute because Marcus missed his opportunity to, I guess, take Amara to, like, I guess the masquerade ball. So, like, he actually ends up making, like, decorating her office and giving her, I don't know if it's the same dress that she wore back then. I don't really remember. Maybe it's a new dress. I don't know. But, like, he set up, like, the cutest date of the one that he missed of the ballroom dance, and kind of, like, recreated, the one, like, played their favorite song that they had, decorated, it looked like it was her office, decorated it, got her a dress, and pretty much, kind of made her feel like she was, like, Cinderella. And I just thought that was just really cool, and just, like, it just was really cute that Marcus and Amara had their moment, and that their relationship is going very well, their first date of their start of their relationship. So I was just really happy the entire time seeing that, and just seeing that Marcus pretty much said to Amara, like, I'm not going to be the dude that just runs away. I'm going to be the dude that stays. And, and did all that for her, for, like, saying, I'll take care of our first date. You don't worry about it. And he made the cutest first date ever. I was really, like, happy for Marcus. I was really happy for Amara. And I just was smiling literally the entire time. I was just so happy for them that their first date was great. The first start of their relationship, you know what I mean? Of their, relationship after all these years. And that was the one thing that they were worried about in the beginning, is how do we start this? Like, what do we do? And he's like, let me take care of it. I like, I mean, I know how we can just start this. And I'm really excited to see where their relationship goes going forward. But we'll just have to wait and see for the next couple of episodes and going into season 3 to see how their relationship blossoms. I still don't know what's gonna go on with Zeke. I'm a little sad about Zeke when he finds out, if not already he found out about Amara being with Marcus. I feel like if not yet, he'll find out soon. And I'm a little worried about Keisha when she ends up finding out about, Amara choosing, Marcus after she was kind of just dating Zeke for a while. And it kind of, and kind of Keisha had the idea of, like, oh, you wanted to be with my dad, now you want to be with Marcus. So I feel like that drama is still going to break out later. Maybe it won't, but I feel like that's where I'm thinking things are going to go. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see when Zeke finds out and how Keisha will take it. We'll just have to wait and see. But going on with Nate, I'm super happy for Nate. Nate actually had like a kind of a secret admirer, and kind of left these, one got invited by the secret admirer to the masquerade ball, on top of these little notes kind of hinting to who he was. And it was very like Cinderella, where like, you could tell like this one dude made it a beautiful night for Nate, and the one dude like disappeared after the dance that he had with Nate, and then kind of dropped his pen. So it's kind of like, oh, like if Cinderella would have dropped the glass slipper, he dropped his pen. So like now Nate has to find her prince, and I'm super excited to see where that's gonna go, because I'm nothing but happy for Nate. And I feel like a lot of things are going well for Nate, especially being second in the race against Nico, and possibly being able to beat Nico, on top of Nate finding out that she might have a new boyfriend, you know what I mean, and a new love. Like, makes me happy. So I don't know. I'm excited to see where everything will go going forward. I don't know if we'll get. I don't know how long it'll take for us to find out actually who the dude was. I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited for Nate to find out. For a second, I thought it was a rude prank Nico was playing on Nate, but thank God it was not the case, and that Nate's about to have love again. I'm happy. This was just an overall fun happy episode for me. You know what I mean? An episode I initially didn't really care about. It made me initially like happy and excited to see where things go. And just happy for a lot of the characters' developments and stuff like that, because like Thea gets to move on and gets to fully be try to go into the pros, and Keisha finally stood up to Dr. Pace, and what is it and Damon got to have his feelings out for Simone, is waiting just to hear from how Simone takes it, you know what I mean. And I'm really happy, because not only that, but like, I'm trying to think of some other characters that had some great development in this episode, but and Nate finding out that that she might have love around the corner, you know what I mean, on top of winning the race. So I'm just glad that a lot of things are going well for these characters right now, and I do think that I don't know. I have a feeling that that Simone will choose Damon. I feel like that's just what we all expect, because look at all the things that have happened that led them back to one another once more. And I don't know. I'm really curious to know, guys. Like, did you guys think that they would initially get together, Simone and Damon? I'm really curious to know. Or did you think that Simone was going to stay with Lando, and also Damon was going to stay with Thea, or Damon was going to get back with Thea? I'm really curious to know. Did you guys think that Damon was going to get back with Thea, and Simone was going to stay with Lando? Or did you guys expect that eventually that they would get back together? And I'm really curious to know, like, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Did you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from about how, like, how my idea of how it could have been written to have, like, Simone, like, get a call from Layla, and, you know what I mean, and that kind of mend the fences on the fact that they both agree on they both care for Jordan, and she would have, like, took a flight out there to be there for the funeral and be there for Jordan. And you know what I mean? Like, do you guys wish it could have went that way? Or are you guys okay with the way it went, where, like, she tried calling him, you know what I mean? Or she found out she tried calling him, he didn't answer, but he did text back at the end of the episode. He did text back, and he actually ended up saying to Simone, like, oh, thank you for reaching out. But I'm really worried about Olivia. So that makes me really worried, because I wonder in episode 13, if we'll get any kind of foreshadowing of, like, her trying to call Jordan. Maybe Jordan missed it, or maybe Jordan just didn't want to answer it, and then Jordan, maybe finding out about maybe what's going on with Olivia. Because as we all know from the events of yesterday's episode, the way it ended with Olivia is that she picked up, I think it was, I don't know if it was like a scotch bottle, but she picked up like alcohol and picked up a cup. And we kind of are wondering, like, will she spiral again? Will she not spiral again? And I'm wondering, like, maybe, like, is this kind of a hint to, like, what we're going to be seeing in next week's episode of All American? Like, will she? And maybe Spencer picks up on it, or maybe Jordan picks up on her distancing, and maybe doesn't pick up on that, or maybe maybe she's just distancing, and maybe that's why he's saying he's worried about Olivia. Who knows? I'm just really, like, curious to know, like, how they're going to do it. Like, will they show that Simone tried calling And will they show Jordan responding to Simone's text? I'm wondering. Let me know if you guys think that we'll see that in the next episode of All American. Let me know. But I'm really curious to know, guys. Like, I can't believe we only have like a couple more episodes. I think we only have 2 more episodes left. I'm not quite sure because we had 10 episodes, I think, last season for All American Homecoming. I think, and today in this season we've made it to 12 so far. But last season I think we only had 10, which I'm actually gonna check and see if that was correct. I think we only had 10. Yeah, we had 13 last season. So I think I think episode 13 isn't going to be the last episode of Homecoming. I think we have 2 more after that or 1 more after that. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe we just have 13. If you guys know how many episodes we have left, definitely let me know. And yeah, definitely let me know like where you guys are expecting things are going to go for our characters before the end of the season. I'm really curious to know. But guys, yet again, that was the video. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on notifications, like this video. I'd love to have you guys here, part of the family, part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And yet again, guys, we are almost to 700 subscribers. The goal is to get to 700. My initial goal is to get to 1,000 at the end of this year, and I know you guys can help me get to that goal. But yeah, guys, again, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.